Hey guys, I'm Onin, and this is the Super Roll.
I'm ready to get it on.
Let's
move.
So this is a new glitch that I found in Alien Swarm Reactive drop. It also works in the original, but there's some caveats which I'll mention later. And I wanted to make a video to highlight all of the intricacies to how it works. So first off, the simple mechanics of the Super Roll. To do one, you first need to have a bot, someone that you can switch to. Then you just roll and immediately switch to the bot. And you let the roll do its work. As you can see, you don't really get that much momentum when you use it over the floor. But obviously, when you start using ramps, you can make some pretty cool things happen. So there's three specific ways to make use of the super roll for momentum. The first is done by rolling and switching back before the whole animation of the roll ends, which gives you a little bit of XY movement, but primarily a whole lot of Z momentum, upward momentum. The second one, which I'm going to demonstrate over on these stairs because those other ones are finicky, is set up a roll and wait for the whole animation to finish. This will launch you across the ramp and use that direction until you hit a wall, in which case the rest of your momentum becomes upward momentum. So on some ramps this is going to be better because they're already aiming exactly the way you want to go. On some ramps it's going to be worse because it's not the way you want to go at all, you just want to go up. So that depends which one of those you use. But the most important super roll is first set up by doing an upward one and then another one, in which case you again wait for the entire animation to finish and then you go wee. You can cancel the momentum by rolling at any other time, which is useful if you go too far or if you're going for a specific spot, but there's not that much limit to how far you can go. The actual limits are basically environmental objects like invisible walls that are above the level, and to some extent the height of the level itself can also put a damper on it, because the higher level the ceiling is, the earlier you start falling again and the less far you can go. It also depends a little bit on how fast you can start rolling, which is why if you set up one with just upward momentum, you want to wait as long until the end as possible so you can start rolling as early as possible and then switch back as early as you can. But not too early like I did just there, because if you go off too early then you don't get any of the momentum whatsoever. The full animation needs to be stopped, needs to be finished before you get the XY momentum that rockets you across maps. So until the animation almost finishes, then wait until the whole animation finishes, and you get all of the speed you want. So those are the limitations. There's also the small thing that if you switch to control to a marine that is in the process of being launched across the map, you can switch back to a different marine and they'll keep doing all of their momentum and it'll work just the same as if you were like watching them do it. But if you then switch back again to the one that's being launched, all of their momentum is suddenly cancelled and they plummet to the floor. So that's not super useful. It also means that you can't have only two marines and launch both of them at the same time because of the way you need to be switching between them. One of them is going to get all of their momentum cancelled. So that's not all that good. So this also works in vanilla. The problem is that in vanilla Alien Swarm, running with bots can't be done on multiplayer, and in single player you have to run with 4. Which can be an issue because 4 bots take a lot of time to kill off while you're already at the end of the map. So it can waste a whole bunch of time. It's a lot more convenient in Reactive Drop. And Reactive Drop has a console command which adds bots to multiplayer games. I'm not exactly sure how that functions, but I have heard that the glitch is usable in multiplayer. So that's a thing. The downside is, well, the other problem is that we haven't really defined a category for single player with bots in reactive drop speedrunning. This is because single player kind of is about the challenge of beating everything with just a single marine. And of course multiplayer is specifically about the multiplayer team play. And super rolling kind of trivializes a ton of the maps. Like, it's applicable on every single map in probably every single campaign. The only thing you need to find is like a staircase or any other environmental object, a bit of a hill, some rubble, anything that gives you upward momentum from super rolling into it, and you just completely break the map. So it's a super cool glitch, but it kind of trivializes content, and it can be very finicky in setup when, you know, playing on normal speed.
What's up?
Like, I'm not even sure I'm gonna be able to launch myself. No, that's decent enough, I guess. But yeah, it's gonna be very hard to pull it off. So whether it actually makes it into an official category remains to be seen. But I wanted to make this guide just to make sure we all have all of the information necessary to decide that. We all know exactly how it works, the ins and outs, etc. But that's basically it. Thanks for watching.